What's up, you guys? Petplatypus here, and it's time to review Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders, the Egypt arc. I think this is episode 38, doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter, kind of, but it doesn't matter for the actual review. It'll be in the title, obviously. This episode was a great fucking return to form for Jojo, because for a while now, I've been like, okay, these stand users, some of them are kind of pointless, there's too much comedy, they aren't really a threat, just kind of annoyed with the lack of story progression and slow pacing. Well, the lack of story in general, because Stardust Crusaders has almost no story other than the setup. But, yeah, this episode definitely felt like there was more story going on, and it definitely had more fighting, and it had a stand user that's actually a worthy threat, and we got to see a lot more of Iggy, which is fucking finally, for God's sake. So yeah, to summarize the episode, there's this scene in the beginning where Polnareff gets into an argument with a beggar, and it's kind of dragged a little bit too long, but it ends up serving a purpose. They talk to this dude, he knows Avdol, and Avdol's like, we're trying to find this mansion, can you find it? Dude throws off his robe, and he's got like this slick suit and hat. I'm like, what the fuck is up with this guy? He's like, yeah, I'll find it in 3 hours, and he gets in this fancy car, and what ends up happening is we cut over to Iggy. They're like, where the hell's Iggy? He always disappears. And Iggy's kind of chilling at this gate. He finds the mansion just kind of accidentally, and there's these two dogs, and they're dogs that aren't Iggy in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which means they have to die. Like they have to. There's no like option. The writer wasn't sitting there like, should I kill these dogs? Should I not? No, he pretty much had to. At least that's his mindset, I guess, because dude never stops killing dogs. Unless it's Iggy, but I mean, fuck, I don't trust that Iggy will make it through the end of Stardust Crusaders. I don't know if it's going to be this fight, but I will not be surprised if Iggy is a character that dies. Please, no fucking spoilers. No fucking spoilers. Don't say anything in the comments below. But, yeah, we get Pet Shop, and he's a bird, and he looks absolutely badass and epic. Like, there's just something about his face and his intensity that I love. He doesn't even talk. But Iggy does, or at least he thinks to himself, and we get to hear his voice, and he sounds fine. It's not like anything to critique, but he does like a little yada yada, you know, it gives the good grief. That was kind of funny. And we see Pet Shop's abilities are ice, and he kills these two dogs, and this kid comes looking for them. Even before the kid comes looking, though, the dude who was trying to find the mansion, he finds it. He gets completely fucking annihilated by a giant iceberg. Not giant, but like car-sized iceberg hits this dude and kills him. So their guy who was going to tell them where the mansion is now dead. So hell, he's a good guard dog, or guard bird as Iggy puts it. But the kid comes looking for the dogs, and he's like, whatever, it's human bullshit, I don't care about Dio, I don't care about Joseph or Jotaro, I've got brought here against my will, fuck it. But he ends up saving the kid, and he gets into a fight with Pet Shop, a brief one. I liked when the fool like put a little like igloo of sand around him, and it looked like the fool just in like a weird little circular shape. That was kind of funny looking. And he basically just runs from him almost the entire episode, but there's still cool chase scenes, there's still cool moments here and there. He's basically shooting these ice spears at him. We get to see his stand Horus in full. Like, the name Horus, like there's no threat to that, but don't let that fool you, because this stand is disgusting. They end up taking it to the sewer. He lands a cool hit. Excuse me. I was going to say Horus, and I was going to say the fool. Excuse me. Pet Shop. Fuck that up twice. Pet Shop ends up falling for pretty much a sand clone. And what ends up happening is he thinks he killed Iggy, and then Iggy comes at him from behind. He's able to take the fool and slash him across the belly. He's doing like little dog poses and shit. That was pretty funny. Then he can heal it, or not heal it, but he can like stop the bleeding with ice, and that's when we see Horus in full. Looks pretty cool. I like the stand design, actually. And Pet Shop still doesn't talk. I don't know if he will. Iggy starts running. He gets caught. Big ice attack. Don't know what happens to Iggy. Cliffhanger. But it's a good cliffhanger. There was action in this episode. Their fight progressed. It went somewhere. He landed a hit. You know, Iggy was running, but it's going places. It's not just like, let's have Hull Horse and what's-his-name fuck around in the desert for a second and then we're gonna stick fingers up Polnareff's nose, and that's where it stops. There's like no progression there. There's no like fighting. There's no contact between the characters or any strategy. It's just kind of boring, except for the comedy, which would have been fine if there wasn't already so much comedy before it to fucking make it feel like it's all jokes and nothing's being taken seriously. But anyways. Yeah, I really liked this episode, though. I think Iggy was cool. I liked his personality. I liked his hands-off approach, where he's just like, yeah, fuck this, I'm gonna pretend to be a dog, a freaking dumbass dog who doesn't know what he's doing. He's actually really fucking smart for a dog, though, like, unbelievably smart. Like, obviously JoJo's Bizarre Adventure smart. Like, you know, no real dog ever would be like this. And he's an agile little fucker, I will admit. He can jump from walls and run around like he's goddamn Spider-Man, but yeah, I don't know how he's going to beat Pet Shop. He's a pretty damn strong stand user. Interesting, his abilities. I like that he's just straightforward with ice powers, but it's pretty basic for JoJo. I don't mind. I think it's really cool. It's just extremely basic. Most of these stand users have some crazy ability that you'd never think of, or a pretty conventional ability used in weird different ways. I don't know, it's just kind of interesting that he's just, yeah, I have ice powers, and he does what ice power users would do in most ice power users, you know, series that have those kind of characters. But it was really cool. Cool seeing Iggy fight, cool seeing these two animals go at it, running around the city. Animation, great as always. The pacing was actually really good, it wasn't too slow. Not a huge amount of story progression, but I mean, JoJo really doesn't have it, and the other things make up for the lack of story progression. So overall, I'd probably set this episode around like a 7.5 to a 7.8. Like, it's an above good episode. I definitely thought it was above good. And I like how it mixed in comedy, you know, it mixed in scenes with like Polnareff arguing with the beggar and Iggy doing like poses and little lines of dialogue that he put in. Not this overbearing, completely comedy, you know, show that's like, dude, like, really? But yeah, fitting in the comedy, that's usually what JoJo used to do, and I'm glad that it's gotten back to that kind of pattern, because I like comedic relief, it's fine. I just don't like 100% gag stuff going on when the series was never really based around that, you know? I mean, yeah, you're going to have different tones between the different parts, like with Joseph and Jonathan and everything, but they're just doing things in these in Stardust Crusaders that you would never see in parts 1 or 2, just drastically different comedic relief, drastically different levels of stupidity from certain characters, really silly. It just doesn't mesh with me, but all the different parts are probably going to have their own things going on, so can't complain about it too much. But yeah, I'm probably going to give this episode, oh, I already rated it, but I was kind of thinking about it. Yeah, I'll probably stick with the 7.8. I was thinking maybe an 8 out of 10, but I don't want to like oversell it. It's not like the most amazing thing I've ever seen. But it is an above good episode, and I can't wait to see what happens in the next episode. So, thanks for watching this video. Tell me what you guys thought of this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in the comments below. Please, no spoilers. Yeah, follow me on Instagram, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.